皆さん、こんにちは。Ohayou gozaimasu. Konbanwa. Yokoso to another new video here on the channel. My name is Riley, and in today's video, we are back, obviously, with another one. And it has been a little while. I think the last video you would have seen was a season review and us preparing for our first season in the top league here in Nihon, Japan. But I have actually played a few matches because I wanted to. But I did want to show this Kyoto match because technically they do have a Kansai derby with us. So Kansai is not a prefecture in Japan, but it's like a general area. So Kansai consists of like Kyoto, obviously, Osaka, Kobe, another big city, Nara is obviously part of that too. But it's that general area. Like they have a Hanshin derby with Kobe. Hanshin. They actually have a baseball team in Kobe, the Hanshin Tigers, which are a huge team. But anyways, so we are actually doing quite well. We started off with a loss to Urawa, and then we drew against Iwata, but then 2 victories against Shimizu and Nagoya. So where does that put us? I think mid? Okay. Upper. Oh, okay. At first I was like, what is the deal with this? But then I remembered. So what something we need to consider here is top team wins the league, obviously. And then they get a spot in the Asian Champions League, essentially. And then the rest of us, I actually don't know. I don't know what happens. Is it all of us get that, or is it a playoff? I don't know how many spots we as a league get. So I'm trying to think if I could records, past winners, matches, overview. Honestly, I don't know. I have to figure it out. I don't know how many spots we get, but it doesn't matter. We are doing quite well. So the difference between J1 and J2 is we get 5 players, foreign players like me, on the bench or in the game day squad. But unfortunately, we need 4 players trained, homegrown, essentially. And we have 1. So that's unfortunate. We have 3 empty spots on our bench. So that is not ideal. We still have a bunch of transfer budget. Our current spending and committed spending are not that great. But yeah, honestly, like we're not in a terrible position. Transfers, I guess I should show you what we might have done transfer-wise since the last time you would have seen. I'm trying to actually remember what we did or who we brought in. That is a great question, actually. Who did we bring in? João Pedro, I think you might have already seen him, but he is a midfielder. Essentially, he's replacing the Luxembourg player that we had in the middle of the pitch. Till, yes. He was older and he left on a free, so I wasn't too concerned. This is a 24-year-old Brazilian. He's getting paid quite a bit, but not as much as he could be in this league. So we have him here. This guy here, right back, Ansawa. I think, again, you might have seen him already, but Indonesian, so he is technically a domestic player, which is great. This guy we did bring in, Reizumi. This last name just gets me. There's no L's in Japanese, so I don't understand what that name is, but he's a great player. We did bring him in from Iwaki. We've been trying to get him for a little while now, but alas, we haven't been unsuccessful. But he speaks good Korean. Did he play in Korea? He hasn't. Interesting. Doesn't explain his name still, but still, good player nonetheless. And Shinobu Sakai. Sakai is also a decent player. Brought him in on a very cheap deal. And yeah, I don't know. It's just more depth when it comes to our midfield position or midfield area. These guys are just whatever. This Bruno Jr. Again, he's a foreign player, but I did bring him in on a free, so then he can just be a depth option. He's in our under whatever. So that is fantastic for us. Was that all the players I brought in? I feel like that's not true. Okay, yeah, here we go. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Who else? This guy right here. I did spend a pretty penny on him. Daisuke Sugimoto. Brought him in from Ehime, 450,000. Unfortunately, he's not going to be homegrown with us because getting homegrown status in Japan is impossible, it seems. But again, he's a good player, left back. Can play right back potentially, but yeah, he is someone that we can build around hopefully and have for a while. And because he's domestic, it's good to have good domestic players, in my humble opinion. Kenta Fukumori, again, a death option squad player. Play on the left or right side. Who is this? Yamamoto. When I did bring him in before. No, same season. I just brought him in. I spent a lot of money on him, yeah, actually. But he can play center back. Technically, he's a center back, but he's 5'7". But he's 18. That's why I brought him in. I like the 18 part of it, which is crazy to say. But yeah, he's 18. Play left back, right back. He does need to improve a little bit. His pace, his size. But again, not a bad player to have. Wataru Tanaka. He is a midfielder, 25 years old. And again, got him on a pretty good deal. He can be a playmaker, kind of the player that we're looking for. And a Kyrgyzstani. Anyone from Kyrgyzstan watching this? Probably not. I can't say I've ever met someone from Kyrgyzstan. But anyways, I brought him in. 27-year-old Atai. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But anyways, he's a winger. You can play either wing, which is fantastic. And honestly, he was cheap and he's very good, obviously, so brought him in. And last but not least, who is this guy? He's only played one match for us. Maruoka. I actually don't remember. I haven't played this in a few days. Got him on a freeze, advanced playmaker. We don't actually use an attacking midfielder, but it's good to know that he could play there if we do need to switch to that. But again, 30 years old, got him on a free, star player. How long's the contract? A couple of years, okay, but he's a good player, so I can't complain too much. So anyways, that is who we're working with. We don't actually have a terrible, in my opinion, our squad's actually half decent. But we'll see what happens. Let's jump in and see what we can do. So, and we do have some more, whatever you want to call them, trialists in at the club currently. So let's see what we're going to do. Sugimoto, Reizumi, Benite. Benite, yes. Because who else do I have as center backs? I have Kawano. Because Suzuki left. Yes, Suzuki did leave. So I do have Kawano, but Benite is a solid player. He's having an okay season so far. Yeah, he just needs to continue to develop. 21-year-old Colombian. Do we want Bile on the right side today? I think that's a safe bet. We can do that. Harper, the left back. I am trying to sell him, but not a lot of people are interested, unfortunately, because he's under contract for another year still. So that's unfortunate. I do have this young Nigerian center back, which is fantastic. And yeah, he's trained in the UK, but in England. So there is that. Who else are we going to go with? I think that's our back four with Matsubara in net. Matsubara, what kind of season are you having so far? Let's take a quick little looky-loo. Pretty good. 3 goals conceded. So out of 4 matches so far, he has 2 clean sheets. So he's doing quite well for himself. So let's go Sakai, João Pedro, and Maruoka. Is that what I want to do? I think so. I think that's an okay alignment. João Pedro's best position is deep line playmaker. Or do I want to go advanced? Advanced playmaker. We can try that. Sakai, I'd rather play a little bit more defensive with. So let's do that, and then Takagi and Washington with Daniel Silva up top. Let's see, who else do I want to have on the bench that is homegrown? Not homegrown, but not a foreign player. Not a lot of options, actually, because a lot of them I've been trying to get some match time through the backups, whatever you want to call them. Nakata, okay, that's fine. Cool. Let's jump in. Let's do it. We're still doing wing play, so we'll see if we continue with that. Our wingers are good, but I haven't experimented really with any other tactics at this point. I am training some other ones. I have a vertical tiki-taka or just like a tiki-taka, I think. 4-2-3-1. I think I have a 4-4-2. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But here we are. It looks like we are in Kyoto as well. Kyoto has been in the upper league for a while, so this is a big match. And get the ball out of there, and we do. Kyoto is actually a little bit down, which, to be fair, at this point, everyone is very close. It doesn't really matter, but still, very interesting nonetheless. If you ever get the opportunity to go to Japan, Kyoto is definitely a place I would recommend. I know a lot of people would say that because outside of Tokyo, it's probably the most popular destination in Japan, but fascinating nonetheless, especially if you like history. Lots. Every corner, there's like a temple or shrine of some historic importance. And during World War II, interesting fact, Kyoto was not bombed as bad as other places in the country because of all the historic monuments. Because Kyoto is seen as one of the ancient capitals, along with Nara, but Kyoto's a little bit bigger in that regard. Again, Nara is also a good place to visit. Here we go with the corner. Benite unable to get his head on it. Washington with the ball. Gotta get that cross in. Is he gonna look? Yeah, he finds Sugimoto. Sugimoto get. No one's there to be on the receiving end. Unfortunately, we don't have, like, Daniel Silva is a good player, but he's not a big aerial threat necessarily. Washington isn't either. So yeah, I don't. Well, we might have to rethink the wing play. I don't know. Honestly, a 4-2-3-1 might not be the worst just because we do have Maruoka. Like, Sakai is good, but again, not someone that we're gonna. But again, part of me also doesn't want to move away from the 4-3-3 just because of. I feel like we are in a league that we kind of like imposter syndrome a little bit. Our projected outcome, our predicted result was to get relegated last, so not great. Benite, but obviously we are avoiding that so far. We are playing relatively well. And we're into the 30th minute at this point, and we are holding our own against Kyoto. So that is great. This is wild. Again, it's very early into the season, but Yokohama F. Marino is at the bottom. Sapporo far at the top. So very interesting nonetheless. But we'll see what we can do here in the final minutes of the first half. Sakai, João Pedro. We're, knock on wood, good ball movement so far this match. We'll see if it can continue. Takagi's been actually a very good player for us. Which is great because it is a very competitive front three. It's hard to get in there and get some match time, so you need to be in your A game. For example, Daniel Silva right now, not so much on his A game, but yeah, not much I can do about it right now. And that could turn around with a goal. Washington, nice. He was able to get the ball. Washington has good pace. He's actually a very good player. He prefers to play up front, but his natural position is on the right side. So there's a good chance I will put him up top, though. Daniel Silva, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We still have lots of lots of time in this match. So we'll see what happens. But we do not want to concede right before halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please, please. Washington, nice tackle. Washington's a good player, man. He was a good find out of Armenia. Well, I know he wasn't in Armenia when I found him, but still. Armenian player nonetheless. Young as well. But because of our reputation and the size of our club, the vultures are circling him. But he did not actually want to leave. He got an offer. I think it was like £950,000, and I think it was a lower league club than us, but he refused it. I accepted it just because. Well, I think the board accepted on my behalf just because it was so much money compared to what we spent on him, which was nil. We didn't spend anything on him. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Oh, we got lucky. We got lucky there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. I did not want to concede right before halftime. I'm fine going into halftime scoreless at this point. Honestly, I'm fine ending this match without scoring a goal as long as we don't concede. Because, again, this is Kyoto Sanga. They are a big club, one of the bigger clubs in Japan, and we are playing at their home pitch. So, coming away with a draw would be phenomenal against little old Nara Club, a club that literally has jumped. Like, yeah, we've jumped up. We've moved up so quick. J3, only 2 seasons in J3. J2, just 1. And here we are in the top flight of Japan. Pretty competitive, I might say. So we'll see what happens. Reizumi Sakai goes back to Matsubara. Matsubara with the ball. He's having a good game himself. We're going to start looking at some substitutions here momentarily. Washington's able to get there. Daniel Silva, you need to be pushing forward a little bit more. You are an advanced forward nonetheless. So please don't come back. You're not a deep line playmaker or forward or anything like that. So don't come back for the ball. Just let us get you the ball, please. Jermaine. Nice pass. Oh, and that's a goal. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it was bound to happen. So that's unfortunate, but again, it was bound to happen. But again, unfortunate nonetheless. So we'll see what happens here, but we're going to be looking at some subs. Yeah, what are we going to do for subs? We don't really have a lot of options, let's be honest. I do think I want Washington up front, and I am going to put Takahashi on the right side. Our one homegrown player that is of any, not importance, but skill. There's not many, but he is one. Sakai probably needs to come off as well, not having his best of matches. Go out there and make a difference, boys, and confirm that, and we'll see what happens. We only have one more sub because we only have one more player that actually can play for us today. I guess he maybe can go on this side. We'll see what happens, but what to do? Sugimoto looks like he needs to come off. Ansawi can probably go on that side. He probably can't really play that side normally, but Sugimoto, Ansawi, he can do it. All right, let's go, boys and girls. Let's see how we roll. We rock and roll here. Unfortunately, we are down 1-0, but lots of time. We can do this. We can turn it around. Let's get a goal. We've had opportunities. Our XG is high for not conceding or not scoring. We've only had 2 shots on target, though. That's a little worrisome. Shots we probably should have scored, looking at our XG. So let's go. 5 minutes remaining, and again, not fantastic, but not much we can do about it. Looks like we might actually lose this match, which is fine. It's fine. Not the end of the world. But it gives you a little bit of idea about how competitive we are as a club here in the top flight, the J1 League in Japan. We are at the top of the pyramid here in Japan, and people think we shouldn't be here, but clearly we are competitive despite the loss. So that's something, at least. That's something to write home about, right? Not the end of the world. So we'll see. What are we gonna do next? Okay, yeah, lose Kansai Mat or clash. That's unfortunate. But let's look at the schedule. Looks like we have Nagasaki in their J2 side in the first round, first leg. That's great. Who the heck is this? Osaka. I actually don't know who they are. Gamba Osaka makes sense. They're rivals. We have Niigata, Kashiwa, Yokohama FC. What's their deal? They came third 2 seasons ago, but they have not won it. Okay. Who else could we come back for? This one I want to play for sure. Gamba Osaka, Sapporo, because Sapporo is at the top right now. But yeah, we'll come back in a little while. But thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment. And it's a very exciting time to be a Nara Club fan because we are doing quite well. But thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Sayonara. Bye-bye.